Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a set of studio reference monitors that are very near and dear to my heart. These are the PreSonus Eris 3.5. So it's actually a pair. It's not just this one, but this is the main controller, and I wanted to show you guys this today. Not because I'm being sponsored in any way for this review. I just love these little guys. They're awesome. They're a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of really good experience working with them for about the past 3 months now. I've really tried everything that I can think of on them. I've tried EDM stuff, rock stuff, movies, video games. I even have my turntable hooked up to it. We can't go on together with suspicion. This is not your typical bookshelf speaker in the sense that you just put it over in a corner somewhere and then you just let it go and it fills up the whole room with sound. Well, it does, but that's not exactly what they're intended for. These are called near field studio monitors, or reference monitors for that matter. So what that means is you're supposed to have one on your right and the other on your left, and they're supposed to be aimed directly at your face at about ear level. And what that does is it creates this triangle between you and the monitors, and it creates a very, very pleasing and natural sound stage. That means if there's a guitar that's playing on the left side, you very clearly hear it on the left side. The drums are usually in the center, and then you have your other instruments on the right. So that is called the sound stage, and basically the wider and more clear everything is, the better, typically. A very narrow sound stage is typically an insult and not something that you want to have your product labeled as. That's a no-no. So from my experience, these have a very natural and clear sound stage. That's the best way that I can describe it. Highs are in the proper register. There's nothing shrill. The mids are very clear. They're not over accentuated in any way. And the lows are also very well represented without being muddy. In fact, I pretty much noticed that even in the lower registers of maybe 30 or 40 hertz, I can still feel a little bit going on down there, which is kind of interesting to think about, that there's so much bass presence even from such a small little package. But all of this is simply to say that I found these really do fill up the space very nicely, and they are pretty flat in the sense that they give a very accurate rendition of what's happening to your music or to your video or whatever the case might be. Now, this is great for people kind of like, you know, us, I assume, watching this video, you're one of them, where you sort of want the audio to be as clear and accurate as possible. It's faithful. But let's say that you're the type of person who just wants to listen to fun music and you want to crank that bass. Well, you can also do that. So on the back here, there is a little bass knob, and you can turn that up and have more of a bass response if it's just not thumping quite enough for you. Now, it's never going to replace actually buying a dedicated subwoofer, so please don't even think that for a moment. But what it will do is it will fill in that low end a bit more and give you a nice punch whenever the kick drum comes in, and you'll still be able to hear the bass guitar or the sub mix or whatever the case might be in a really nice and pleasing way. In fact, what I've done with these is I composed a song, and you can listen to it. It's Closer in the version of the 80s, and I mixed them entirely on these monitors. What I then did was took that same mix and I went downstairs into another room where we have a theater set up. So it's full Dolby Atmos surround sound, and it has a very nice sub down there with its own dedicated amp, and it can really hit hard. And I wanted to see what it sounded like on a really big system relatively to these. And it was phenomenal. Everything was crystal clear. There was a ton of low end, but not too much. It wasn't overpowering or muddy. The speakers never rattled or anything like that. So I would say these are very faithful. They're very accurate to whatever you're trying to do in your project. And for that, I'm very thankful. Now, something else that is a lot of fun for me, because I do try to keep a very clean desk setup. I talked about this in my other video as well. But the fact that you don't have to have a mixer on your desk in order to be able to switch between devices. This thing's pretty cool in the sense that it has multiple inputs and you don't have to switch between them. It just registers whatever's coming in through that input and plays it. So for instance, I have the RCA unbalanced set to my computer. And then from there, I have the TRS, the balanced inputs, set to my turntable. And then I also have an auxiliary in on the front if that's not enough. So if I want to play a record, I don't have to switch between anything. It just automatically plays it. And then there's a volume knob in the front so you can adjust accordingly. So that's a lot of fun. And if somebody comes over with their phone and they want to play something for you, these specific ones don't have Bluetooth built in, although they do have a version that does. But you can just simply hook up an aux cord and you're good to go. Not a problem at all. So are there any downsides to these speakers? Well, in the sense of they're kind of small. They're not really meant to be quote unquote professional studio reference monitors. That's kind of a sales gimmick, I think. They are for hobbyists and enthusiasts and people that just want a nice pleasing sound without busting the bank. So these little guys, being $100, are a wonderful, wonderful compromise that really isn't a compromise. You're not spending a ton of money, but you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. You're getting a great sound, faithful, accurate representation, and it's not just for audio nerds who want something that they can mix on. These are great bookshelf speakers as well. Even if you're just wanting to listen to your records or your CDs or your Spotify playlist and really critically hear everything that's happening, these little guys will work for you. In fact, what I found to be really interesting is even songs that I've listened to like 100, 200 times, I listen to them through these and I find stuff that I've never heard before. I'm like, where did that come from? It just kind of came out of nowhere. I think anybody can enjoy these and get a lot of value out of it, especially right now when we're at home. We're probably working from home. Why are we listening to music on very small little speakers, your computer speakers, your AirPods? You know, the way that I see it is we're not spending money going maybe out to eat as much. We're not spending as much on gas. We're consuming a lot of media. We're creating a lot of stuff. You might as well have the tools necessary in order to be able to enjoy it properly and really get the most out of it. In fact, I found that these, combined with a very large monitor, as you can see here, almost create a virtual home cinema, which is a lot of fun because you can just throw a movie up and these little guys take you into a completely other world, or even a video game. You just kind of feel like you're there, which is a lot of fun. And that's why I love audio. That's why I enjoy it so much, is it can really teleport you somewhere else to another place and time and make the experience that much more fun. So thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate all of the support. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Please like it, subscribe, or simply comment. Tell me what I did wrong, or tell me what I missed. That would be awesome too, because I'm sure there's a lot of info on these little guys that it'd be helpful for other people to know. So throw a comment down there. Let me know. Thanks again. Have a good one.